Hi Barb. I usually like to give it a couple of minutes so a few people can join, and whoever is here, great, and whoever will join later, that's also perfect. So hi and welcome to the third live stream of Wellness Wednesdays. I gotta say that every next time when I do it, it's getting better and it's feeling more natural, and I'm very happy to be here. And I am very happy that you guys are here with me today. And I want to thank you for your support. I promise you that I celebrate each one of you. And it means so much to me that you're taking time of your day and you're keeping an open mind, and you're here for a reason. Probably you're attracted to finding something new or finding ways to improve the quality of your life, or whatever the reason is that you're here today. I really want to congratulate you on your commitment and your investment in your time and energy in yourself and in me, and also for your incredible support. Thank you. I'm also going to share a little secret with you, because I was just thinking about it throughout the day. I was trying to structure myself to the best of my abilities, because there is something pretty important that I want to talk about today. And it's such a deep topic that once I start diving in, it was just hours and hours of reading and trying to find the best and the most structured way to present the information. And also I figured that the reason why I kick myself out of my comfort zone and I committed to doing a live here in front of you every Wednesday, and to talk about in general how we can improve our lives and how we can do this journey in a better way, in happier and healthier way. And I figured that as much as I am here to try to bring value and information and just something positive to your life, I'm also here to encourage myself to do the same thing and to put myself on the spot, so I am more conscious about the lifestyle choices that I make, and what do I engage and not in. And I'm just being committed, and I feel like I'm executing a lot better, and I'm structuring a lot better in the past 3 weeks that I have been doing this. And it's that responsibility to be the best version of myself, so actually my words make sense and I can prove that what I'm talking about is true. So it works for both of us. And again, I'm very happy that you're here. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy it. And I really my one desire to, after every life and before every life and before anything I do, brand related or personal related, is that you guys are able to take a little piece of value or information, in this case after the live, something, a little element that probably makes you reflect later on the questions that we bring here or the topics that we talk about, and you find ways to make your journey and your life better. That has always been my ultimate goal in everything that I do here. So creating a happy and healthy life, it's really in our hands, and it's very simple. And as we have talked about in the past few Wednesdays, It comes down to us. There is ways to train ourselves, our brains and our bodies to perform better, to feel better, and to improve overall the overall quality of our life. So today I want to discuss a little bit about the philosophy of health. I want to talk a little bit about the beliefs those limiting beliefs that set us back and hold us down and don't let us make any progress in any area of our life, but specifically in health. And also for those beliefs that empower us and give us wings to fly and push us forward to our progress. But I also want to get a little bit behind the science of the foundation of health and healthy body, especially in the current times that we are living in. It's very challenging on all the possible aspects for each one of us. So health right now, probably now is the most important time for us to be having these conversations and to figure out things together and just to raise this whole collective understanding and way of life and way of doing things in a better and healthier way. So we're going to tackle a little bit those topics today. So what is health? What is health in general? Health is when we feel good, when we perform better, when we are in a better state physically, spiritually, mentally, when life comes very lightly and easy at us, and we are in this just higher vibrational state where we're attracting better things in our lives, we are carrying better conversations and better relationships with those around us, we're being better parents, we're being better partners, we're improving our financial life, our careers, our business. Everything is kind of falling into place and everything is thriving, and it's just this beautiful state and beautiful world. That is health to me. It's that high energetic state. We are feeling, whenever we are on a hype state, we are more motivated and more inspired to work out, to do sports, to be engaged in any kind of physical activity, because we understand that moving our body is an essential part of being healthy and being happy. So when we are in that high state, peak state of mind, everything comes at ease and everything is amazing. But what happens when we go into the lower state of mind? Because the mind is our most powerful tool, and once we start being aware of ourselves and we start aspiring healthier habits and healthier lifestyle in every aspect, in area of our life, this is when we start to unlock and to understand what kind of true potential and power we have inside of us, and all the endless possibilities and opportunities in absolutely any aspect of our life. Then is when we are starting to be more driven and we are starting to actually accomplish the things that we dream of, and we figured out how everything works. If it's weight-oriented goal, or if it's a health-oriented goal altogether, or whatever it is, we need to become aware of ourselves first and start raising that consciousness and that vibration, because health is consciousness to me. Because I can go to the gym 7 days a week and work out 2 hours a day and, be fit and look so healthy on the outside, but if my mind is in a lower vibration and in a lower state, then I'm really not healthy. I'm quite the opposite of healthy. And I don't think that a lot of attention is being put on these aspects, and I don't think that a lot of focus is being put all together, especially in these times right now. This year has been so intense in a health way specifically, that there should be a lot more talks about it in the public space, and coming from everywhere, upper levels of any kind, but for whatever reason it's not happening. So it's our responsibility to take care of that for ourselves. Our responsibility as a society, as humans, as civilization, we have to do the work ourselves. So probably one of the most important things that you would ever have to do for yourself, and that you can do for yourself, is to define your psychology of health and your philosophy of health. What is health to you? And unfortunately, only few of us, and very rarely, we sit down with ourselves and check on where we're standing and in what areas have we improved, and in what areas have we probably just taken a step back, and what is helping us and what is holding us back. All these questions that many times are uncomfortable and we don't really want to deal with it, but we have to, in order to be able to progress and to be better and to do everything in life better. We have to sit down with our dark sides and our fears and look them in the face and just tell them that they don't own us. They're not real. Those setbacks, everything, this is just in our head. And in order for us to understand what is stopping us and why we're not getting necessarily where we want to be, we need to start by examining our beliefs and their origin. Where do they come from? So different cultures, different civilizations, different societies, different places of the world, family heritages, they have different understandings of what health is and what helps to improve our health and what helps fighting a disease and not letting a disease take over us. So I mentioned in my post today for you to grab a pen and paper, because I'll be asking you a few questions, and I would really encourage you to write down the answers, just a short answer, whatever is the first thing that comes to your mind. As silly as it sounds, there is a lot of power in that, and only when we start writing things down and actually seeing them black on white is when we start reflecting on them. And the questions that need to be answered, there literally we have to answer them to ourselves, nobody else. So throw it in the chat or write it down on your paper, or some of you message me after a while after they watch the video and give me feedback, and we share some thoughts about the topics that were touched in the video. So feel free to do that. But I'm going to ask you 3 questions now, and just go with the first thing that comes to your mind. I'm going to read them. So my first question is, what primary beliefs has society conditioned us to believe about creating health and avoiding disease? You know, like things like an apple a day keeps the doctor away, or the breakfast should be the biggest meal of the day, or starve a cold, feed a fever. You know, like, what are those beliefs that you have been programmed to that support health and avoid disease? I'll give you a couple of seconds. Just write it down. The first thing that comes to your mind. Don't think too much. Okay, so my question number 2 is, what are the 2 most limiting beliefs that you put to yourself in the past related to health? What held you back in progressing towards your goals because you limited, you were afraid, it was your own belief? For example, in my case, often has it been before, I can't really lose that extra weight because I'm too tired, I'm too busy, I have a little child, I don't have time for that. And I don't have time has been a big one for me. I've caught myself using it quite a lot. And then I've caught myself on my own BS, because no, I do have the time. I definitely have time. What I need to work on when that starts coming out too much is my time management, because that's what creates chaos in my life. And then I don't get time to do things that should be naturally enjoyable for me. So, or I have thought before, well, the only way for me to look a certain way and have a certain body type is if I get a surgical intervention, because I'm far away from it, and no matter how much work I put into it, it's not going to work out. So I'm just going to get myself ready, and then whenever the moment comes, I'll get a surgery, and they will shape me however I want, and done deal. Okay, well, it's not exactly how it works, but my question to you is, what are the 2 limiting beliefs that you put yourself through that didn't allow you to progress in health? I'll give you another second. Which is the first thing. Don't overthink it. And then question number 3 would be, what are the 2 most empowering beliefs that helped you in the past to move forward towards your goals? I would give my personal ones. When I realized that I'm in control of my life and my choices. So I can choose what to feed my body with. I can choose what to feed my brain with. I choose who to spend time with and what to engage in and what's good for me and what's not. So that's all in my control. And when I realized that power, then I was able to progress a lot more. And another personal belief I would throw, that I can pull myself out of any low state of mind, of vibration, and I deserve love and kindness and care, and I'm giving those things to myself through a lot of different ways, but I'm nourishing myself and I'm doing the best that I can do for myself because I deserve it. These 2 things help me big time. So what are your 2 empowering beliefs that helped your progress or are helping your progress right now? Write them down. I would encourage you to, for whoever watches this video later, to just send me these answers, because I am very interested into getting to know how different mentalities work and different people and what are those things that we have in common. So if you don't mind it, I'll probably put like a question box after the video in a story. So go ahead and just drop me maybe some of your comments. So it's important to always ask ourselves, whenever we have a belief, whenever we have a piece of information, what is the source of that information? Where did it come from? Because we should be always seeking second opinions. And I mean this in every aspect of our life, in health and wellness, in business, in relationships, in personal development. Always seek a second opinion. Be selective about whose opinion you would take and who's not. And always go, we have so many available sources of information right now. Everything is just literally a click away. So go ahead, do your research and choose what feels right to you through your gut and what feels like it's the right path for you when it comes to answering these important questions. Because today in the day, we are living in age of information and we are literally drowning in misinformation. And it's sad and it's crazy, but it is what it is. So it's I learned that the hard way, but it's extremely important to be very conscious about what kind of content and information we receive and accept, and what feels right and what helps us grow and what sets us back with negativity and being toxic and literally just having no sense in our life. So what is health to you? What do you understand that health is? I'm going to write you here. I found very short descriptions of 3 classical experiments that... Oh, just a second. Yeah, sorry. I will talk to you about the experiments in a second. I wanted to read you short description before that of what health is according to 3 pretty recognized sources. So the first one is the World Health Organization, which defines health as a state of complete physical, mental, or social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. The Nutrition and Diet Therapy book defines health as optimal human fulfillment and productivity, quality of life. And the Encyclopedia of Natural Medicines says that health is the result of individual responsibility, choosing healthy over non-healthy. Okay, so all of them are right. Health has so many different ways to be described, and we can go all day, and all of them are right. But you, for yourself, how would you define health? When you're thinking of highly energetic and productive day for you, when one of those days that you know that with a little programming in the morning and the right routine, you're just going to go out and take on the world, and you're going to do whatever you want to do, and you're going to get the results that you want to. Why? Because you have put yourself in that state of mind. So I am curious, and I invite you to write that down also. What are your non-negotiables when it comes to energy day, to highly energy day? For example, is it meditation? Is it workout? Is it drinking a gallon of water per day? Like, what are your things? My things would be meditation, workout, clean foods, and dance party. I think those are my triggers for highly energetic day. They work 100% all the time. That's how I get into my high peak state. So everyone has these little things. We discussed them last time. Feel free to go ahead and throw them in the chat or share them later. What are your routines? I want to know that. So health is energy. Health is that power, that force around us that makes everything possible and everything real. And where does health come from, and energy? Energy comes from the cells of our body. So, healthy cells are the key to a healthy body. So what are the cells? The cells are living organisms, and just like plants or animals or humans, any living organism has essential needs that are mandatory for the survival of that organism. So the cells have three essentials to not only be alive, but also to thrive. The first and most important thing, and pay attention because this is extremely important, especially in this time of our life. The first and most important thing for cells to thrive is oxygen. Oxygen is the source of all energy in the body. That energy goes ahead and turns into all the metabolic process in our body. It makes our digestion better, our respiration better, elimination of waste. Everything in our body is powered and it's fueled by oxygen. So oxygen is life. It's extremely important, and it's very important right now to pay attention to how much oxygen are we getting, and what is more out there that we can do for that under the conditions that we have to live right now. The second very important thing is water. Water is the most present substance in the body. Our bodies are made from about 70% of water. So literally, water is life. Literally. Water in the cells works on breaking down chemistry, toxification, blockages. And we need to make sure to stay hydrated, because I have said it before, a lot of outside things like headache or just overall not feeling good or hunger, moods, more of a negative sensations are due to us being dehydrated. So it's super important to drink a lot of water, to consume. We should be consuming 75% of our food in water containing foods or live foods, which we will be devoting and dedicating a whole evening about, because they're my favorite, and it's a lot to talk about them, so I'll give them their proper attention. But we just got to make sure that we're consuming a lot of water in any shape or form. And the third thing for a cell to be alive and to thrive is the ability to clean its own waste. So imagine, you know how the cells are traveling inside of our body when they're good and when they're healthy and when they're getting the nutrients that they need from us and from our lifestyle choices, because that's what it comes down to. Okay, well, imagine when they start not to get so many of these nutrients. So then they slow down. They can't move freely like that anymore and be vital to us. More they're slowed down, more they're dying, actually. And then they start to kind of like gather together and clutter, and they start cluttering our body. And that's how an environment for disease is being created. We'll talk specifically about what happens, how the disease starts in the body and what happens through the process and to the extent that we let it thrive. But it's important to understand what's the foundation of health and how that foundation works. What does it need to perform in its optimum state? So how long, if a cell is a living thing, how long would the cell live, and what is doing the decreased oxygen on cells. So here's what I'm going to tell you about the 3 experiments, because I found this short summary, and I think it's pretty interesting. So it's 3 classic experiments that demonstrate what cells need. The first one is cell respiration, and it has been conducted by Dr. Otto Warburg, a winner of 1931 Nobel Prize for his studies in cell respiration. Dr. Warburg believed that there is a direct correlation between a person's health and the level of oxygen in his or her bloodstream. This is extremely important. To test his theory, he put rat cells in bell jars with both normal and 60% below normal oxygen levels. In the jars with lower oxygen levels, some cells weakened or died, while others mutated. The second summary of a second experiment: lack of oxygen destroys cells. That's being conducted by Dr. Harry Goldblatt. His studies at the Rockefeller Institute supported the hypothesis that a lack of oxygen destroys cells. He duplicated Dr. Warburg's experiment, then he reinserted the cells back into the rats. The rats who got oxygenated cells survived. Those who received underoxygenated cells developed cancer. Are you following the connection between oxygen, disease, and everything that follows after that? And the third resume is cells can live forever. Dr. Alexis Carrel is a 2-time Nobel Prize winner for his work at the Rockefeller Institute. He achieved startling results with chicken cells that he kept alive indefinitely in Petri dishes, providing his theory that cells will live forever if they're given their basic needs and are not poisoned by their own environment. So what does that mean? Oxygen, nutrients, water, and eliminating waste. So you see, guys, this is important to bring up because, again, we're not getting enough information and we're not being educated enough on how the lifestyles that we have been living this year is actually affecting us on the long run. And again, it's our responsibility to understand how these things work and to try to figure out what is good and what is bad for us, and what is that we can do to help our body, to help ourselves to recover, and to be healthier and thriving, because that's how we are healthy. So why is that, what are these experiments talking about, and what's actually happening with these cells? The cells in our body, since they're living organisms, they replace themselves every certain time, which literally means that our body regenerates itself. Not all of the cells are getting regenerated, but with the right lifestyle and lifestyle choices, the majority of them are. And that's what helps us to, to fight the disease and to be healthy and to keep these bodies thriving. The problem comes when the cells are being killed, literally. And I'm going to read you here the 3 healthy ways cells can die. So the first and most common killer is the lack of oxygen. We already touched the subject. I'm not going to get too much into it, but I want to invite you to figure out how you can be getting more of oxygen, especially if you are in a profession or in an environment that you have to wear a mask for extended periods of time. Please consider researching about what kind of mask are you wearing, what is the proper way to wear it, and what can you do after or even during your shift or during the time that your oxygen is being cut. Can you go outside and take a few minutes to just breathe, take very deep breaths in? Can you spend an extra time in nature after your day is over and do the similar thing? Just we have to figure out a ways to fight this, and we have to figure out a ways to get the enough amounts of oxygen that we need. Any disturbance of the electric fields of the cells will kill them. So as you know, our bodies, we are energy. Everything in us is energy. So that goes for the cells also. Everything that we receive and we perceive, and that goes for foods, it goes for medications, for things that we drink, for things that we use on our skin, on our brain, what we engage in and what we give power to. It either helps us raise and enforce our electric fields, or it attacks them and kills them. And stress, negativity, fear, strong and bad and negative language, and feeding your brain with harsh words and all the problems of the world that are happening today in every aspect, in health, in politics, in finances. It's so chaotic that if you let it get inside of you, that's such an enormous amount of stress and distress for every cell of your body. And then the fears come in, and that kills your cells. That literally kills you. So we need to be very selective of what do we listen to, who do we talk to, what kind of information are we receiving, because it's either going to give us life or it's going to take life away from us. And of course, any physical rupture, any physical harm would also kill our cells. Cells shrink due to loss of cell substance, so those nutrients. Later on, we'll discuss more about the disease and how the cells respond and what's happening inside of the body. But if I want you to take something today from this, because I tried to put it in the shortest way that I could, and the simplest way, and the way that everyone can understand a little bit, independently, where you're standing on this virus that is going around and on the whole world situation. We need to be able to step out of our personal beliefs and our brain and evaluate situation on a bigger level, every and any situation. We should be evaluating, no matter how I feel about this situation, what is logically, what is scientifically, how does my body work? I need to understand how does my body work in order to learn how I can help it and how can I protect it. Because, my friends, our bodies are these immense machines that they can handle so many things if we fuel them properly and nourish them properly, that anything can be stopped and anything can be fought. So what I want you to take with you today is health is energy. Energy comes from the cells of our body. The quality of our life is the quality of our cells. And our cells need essential nutrients. They need oxygen, very important, water, and the ability to eliminate their own waste, which is the ability for us to give our body a break, to do a little detox, or to schedule the way that we do things better, to not overstress, to not overwork, to not over-argue, to not overeat, overdrink, to not do anything in excess, and every now and then to stop a little bit and to give a break to our body, to let it clean itself, let it eliminate all the waste. Because when we feed the cells with those essential nutrients, that is when we strengthen our body, we strengthen our immune system, and we can find anything and everything in our body and in our mind. So I really hope you can take this with you tonight, and you can reflect a little bit, and hopefully you are inspired to do little changes. It doesn't have to be nothing drastic, nothing huge, just little changes, because we all know what we shouldn't be doing and what we can be doing better. But most of the times we ignore it and don't want to listen to those inside voices, and we can't really shortcut anything in life. We cannot ignore what the body or the mind is calling for, because if we're trying to accomplish something the easy way or the fast way without actually getting into depth, understanding how it works, the mechanisms, the psychology behind it, then eventually that thing cannot be sustainable. It's going to fail. And when we shortcut through life, eventually it comes a point when we are being past the bill, and it's usually a pretty high bill. So let's pay more attention to ourselves, listen to our bodies, educate ourselves a little more, and understand how we can help ourselves to live a healthier and happier life, to thrive on the inside and on the outside. And only when we are in our highest and best state and self, only then we can help those around us. And we all know that everyone needs a little bit of help. So if you can find the blessing in everything around you, and if you can be a blessing for those around you, I think that that's what ultimately this life comes to again. And this year, all of us need a little extra kindness and a little extra love, and just forgetting a little bit about the chaos and the stress and the problems, and focusing on good things. Holidays are coming, and I want to dedicate enough time to talk about how to wire our mind and to make sure that we're enjoying these holidays independently if our physical family is here or somewhere on a Zoom call or whatever the case is. We can always find the blessing in everything around us. So these are my messages to you today. Thank you so much again for taking from your time and being here with me and supporting me and learning a little something. And I'm looking forward to seeing you next Wednesday. Before you go, I've collaborated with few local businesses, and we're doing a pretty great giveaway this Friday, so stay tuned for all the details. It's going to run around over the weekend. We want to just inspire a little bit of health and good mood and holiday and cheerful spirit. So come back, check our Instagram page for all the updates, and wishing you an amazing evening. Stay healthy, be with yourself, be with your family, enjoy everything that is happening around you. I remind you, it's a beautiful life, no matter where you are, no matter how hot or cold is it, no matter who is able to be around you or not. Life has two states, a beautiful state and a suffering state. It's up to us to choose what our emotional home is, where do we want to live, and how do we want to go through life. So this is it from me. I hope I was a little bit of inspiration. I love you guys. Thank you. And I will see you next Wednesday. Bye-bye.